Rana is apart, dear, dear. You must live in my heart. I am thirsty and I drink, and people think I am mad. But what a madness I have gained. I am never, never sad, Meher dear. The river of illusion is broad and strong, and over it I have made a bridge very strong. The bridge of my weaknesses through your song. I walk on it while playing ping pong, Meher dear, Meher dear. You must live in my heart, Meher dear. The universe is your playground, Meher Rana is apart, Meher dear. You must live in my heart. What a journey is this without journeying? And I think I am running and 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 it must be a dream I am dreaming, while all the time here I am sleeping, Meher dear. Find your smile in my tears, oh Meher, but tears lit the fire to burn me without care, Meher dear. What a miracle you are performing. It is raining, but my house is burning, Meher dear, Meher dear. You must live in my heart, Meher dear. The universe is your playground, Meher Rana is apart, Meher dear. You must live in my heart. Shani Jabanati, Andera Jabanata, Adami Jabanati, Asema Jabanata, Demi Jabanati, Asema Jabanata, Kisi Kapata Nata, Koi Jabanata, Kisi Kapata Nata, Koi Jabanata, Jabakuch Tanayaha, Jabakuch Tanayaha, Tuta or Tuhi Tu Baba Hu, Baba Hu, Baba Hu, Baba Hu, Baba Hu, Baba Hu.
And we're just glad that we can continue this Love Fest in Baba's Love with our special host, Bao Kao Churi. And we want to thank the Arjangs for having us here to their home. And it's really beautiful here. You could really get, you know, a lot of times, you know, the gross world really isn't so bad after all when you, some of these meetings we've been having. But we want to get started now, and Dr. Arjang is going to start by reading a ghazal.
November 8, 1991. Oh, beloved man, when I said to you, you are infinitely compassionate, and how is it possible for you to see the people suffer to any extent? You said to me, people suffer because of their past life deeds, and I, being compassionate, also suffer with them. I said to you, what is the joy for you in creating the creation when you suffer for the creation and the creation also suffers? You said to me, it has happened and I can't escape the responsibility for the creation, and this responsibility is eternal. Do you remember the last words from the beloved when he was crucifying himself for the sake of creation? Yes. You do as you have been telling the people that the beloved had said to you, remember this, I am not this body. Jai Baba.
1192. O Meher, I don't know why you are quite indifferent towards me since a long time. Is it a way to bring me closer and closer to you through the pain I suffer because of your indifference? O friends, you ask me how I pray to the beloved and what I say in my prayer, and what should I tell you? My love for my beloved is my prayer, and the language of love is always silent, and love seeks his pleasure. O beloved, why can people not realize what help you render to the mankind? The reason is this, that the fulfillment of their desires and expectations is not any help. O brothers and sisters, why do you think that the beloved will not help you because you have weaknesses and you have committed sins? Know well that the beloved is like the sun, and the sun gives light to everyone, whether he is a sinner or a saint. O beloved, you are as the ocean within everyone, but why can people not drink from your ocean? The reason is that in order to drink from the ocean, one should have thirst, but the desires block the passage of thirst, and the ocean remains disappointed. O Lord, do not give me anything except the one thing which is most precious to me. Create longing in my heart to repent, and repent for all my deeds, thoughts, and words, and this longing will embrace your compassion. O Baal, you put on beautiful dress, and you go on changing your dress every day so that people may think that you are very clean. But what a fool you are that you don't know that you have to become completely naked by getting rid of your sanskaric dress. Jai Baba.
That what? This Jai Baba business, how it is started. Really speaking, Baba says that saints are my assets and the sinners are my liabilities. And my business is just to turn the liability into assets. So saints, of course, the assets, sinners are the liabilities, but his business is to turn the liabilities into assets. And that's why this Jai Baba business, it is also very peculiar business, I should say. How it is started. When Baba went to Hamirpur, northern India, so there, of course, they were all followers of Ram. In northern India, most of the people, you will find that they are following of the avatar Ram, and they don't follow anyone, and they don't accept anyone. But there were some, of course, they wanted Baba to visit that place. So Baba went there, and the whole district he had to go from place to place. Now it so happened that in other places there was no difficulty, but in one place there were many who were opposing Baba. So they did not like that Baba should visit this village. So there was a canal. They broke open the canal, and the water just submerged the village with water. And when Baba went there, of course he could not cross, he could not go. So he was sitting under a tree, and those who loved him, they came to Baba. And Baba gave this darshan to them, and he said, don't worry, just keep quiet, don't say anything. It happened in 1953. And then, of course, we did not hear what was happening there. But then in 1954, there was a meeting at Mehrabad. So those who loved Baba, they came. So Baba would just talk to the group, different group. So this Hamirpur group came to Baba, and Baba said, how is the situation there? He said, Baba's situation is very bad. They criticize us, they give us lot of trouble, and of course sometimes they burn our crop, and we are in difficulty. So Baba says, why they are doing this? So he said, we don't do anything, we don't do any harm to them. But even when we say Jai Baba, they cannot appreciate, they cannot tolerate, they don't want that we should say Jai Baba. So of course we don't say Jai Baba to them. But when we just among ourselves, when we say Jai Baba, they don't like it. So Baba says, will you obey my instruction? Whatever I say, will you do that? They said, yes. We follow you, we love you. So whatever you say, of course we will follow. So Baba said, stop this Jai Baba business for 1 year. Don't say Jai Baba. Instead of Jai Baba, you say Jai Ram. And of course, when you go out, don't allow the words to slip out. Say Jai Ram. For 1 year, stop this. And they got a shock because they had become habituated. And they would feel that when we say Jai Baba, of course we remember him. So it is good, but then it was Baba's order. So they went back. And then of course they would not say Jai Baba, they would say Jai Ram. So what happened to these people? Now they say Jai Baba, Jai Ram, what's the matter? There must be something. Of course they could not receive anything from this Meher Baba. And that's why now they have come back to Jai Ram. So they were very, very happy. But they would say Jai Ram, but they would just think that we would just taste them. So anywhere they would go, they would say Jai Baba, Jai Ram. So why not now? They started, they would just cut a joke. When they would come, so they would say Jai Ram, and those who were opposing to them, they would say Jai Baba. But for 1 year, Baba had said, stop this Jai Baba business. So they would say, still they would say Jai Ram. And then they started Jai Baba, they would just for sake of joke. And in order to criticize them, they would say Jai Ram, Jai Baba. And nothing happened. And what happened? Then there was a program at Mehrabad. So all those who were opposing, they all came to Mehrabad. And that is the place where Baba's abode called Meher Dham, it was constructed, where there was a lot of opposition. So Baba is for all. It is not that he is for only certain group or certain persons. He is for everyone. And that's why he has said, the sinners are my liabilities, saints are my assets, but my business is to turn the liabilities into assets. So that is his work. So it is not that he just works for certain persons and ignores others. He cannot do it. Even if he tries, he will fail. He will never do such a thing because he is everyone. How can he just avoid himself? How can he ignore himself? He cannot do that. And that's why his compassion is always there. His love is always there. Those who have doubts, those who do not accept him, don't think that it is their fault. The time will come for them. They will also accept because the truth is always truth. Truth cannot be changed. Truth always remains as such, and only truth exists. You call the truth as God, or you give different names, but truth is always truth. It can never be changed. It is unchangeable all the time, and that truth is in everyone. Because that truth is there, we just exist because of that truth. But truth exists, and our existence is in non-existence. Our existence is not there. Existence of truth is there. So that truth, that is indivisible. It is infinite. It cannot be divided. It remains undivided all the time. So why all this There are so many, everyone is true, so many truths are there, only one truth is there. So what is there? So what is false? It is in us along with the truth. Everyone is not one, but two. One is real self, other is false self. So one is not one. When one becomes one, when this false self goes away, then one is always one. And for this purpose, this creation is there, and creation is there in order to realize that we are all one. There is no two, only one. If two is there, that is false self, and it has to go. So it is the reason why he has to come age after age to give that awakening, to take people towards the divinity, towards the reality, and that's why he comes age after age. Now there are three things: suppression, repression, and elimination. What is suppression? What is repression? We become very, very spiritual when we read religious books, and we feel that, oh, it is something, we must become spiritual. But through books, anyone cannot become spiritual. So we read and we try. That trial, so repression, suppression. What is that suppression? Suppress the lower desires. So without any love, we just outwardly try. So we just go on trying, but the desires are there, very, very powerful desires. When you suppress the desires, don't think that you will control the desire. It is not possible, because the desires are very, very powerful. For some time, of course, you will just feel that yes, you are just suppressing. But then, because the desires are very, very powerful, then you get disgusted, and you say, no, this is not the good thing. Then repression. What is repression? You just do, just like Tamara says, I want mango. So then, of course, repression, it comes, I don't want mango. Negative, positive and negative. I don't want mango. I don't want this. So this negative form you take and just remain there, but you want. Want is in negative form and in positive form. I want mango, positive form. I don't want mango, that is negative form. But want is there, whether it is positive or negative, so you cannot get rid of that. The only thing is elimination of desires. How will you eliminate? You don't think about the desires, you think about the beloved. When you think about the beloved, you love him, you remember him, you follow him. So all these desires, they are not suppressed, they are not repressed, they are eliminated. They are wiped out. So what happens when we just try to just take that, yes, I will do this, I will do that, and forget the beloved out. You just think about the desires all the time. I will not do this, I will not do that, I will just control the desires. You try to suppress, you try to repress, and then you feel disgusted. You feel disgusted, no, this spiritual path is no good. There is no charm in this. There is no beauty in this. Why not to enjoy in the world? That is good life. Because the ways you adopt, that is wrong. And that's why you feel that disgusted. Real thing that don't remember the desires, don't think about that. Just remember the strength. He is the strength in everyone. When the strength you go on remembering, the weaknesses will be wiped out. It is not your work to just wipe out the desires. Not possible. Even if you try and try and try, you will just feel disgusted. So only thing, elimination. That is the best thing. Don't think about the desires. Don't think this is good, this is bad. I must do this, I must do that. All the time you bring. Then of course you are in trouble. Just leave everything to him and accept him. Just try to have him and see what happens. Not that, oh, this is bad, I must not do that. So many times this our Billy boy, he says, oh, ice cream, oh, that is bad want. I will never eat ice cream. I don't want to eat ice cream. Want. Don't want negative form. I want ice cream, that is positive form. But negative form, want is there in negative form. So why to just, I don't want and I want, there is nothing. Don't remember that. Remember him and you will see that you are gradually you are free from wants. Once it so happened that Baba was there in 1958 and you know Dhuni is lighted, 55. Dhuni is lighted on 12th of every month. So there was a vast program and people had come, and in one of the weeks, four groups were there. So in one week, that was 12th. So Baba said that I will also take part in the Dhuni. So he was sitting there, and all his lovers who had come to attend the program, they were there. Now Baba says that Dhuni, what is Dhuni? Really speaking, it is the fire within. But fire within, of course, you don't experience that. So for that purpose, this is symbolic. But here, of course, the fire is there. So you must try, in order to burn the fire within yourself with all love, of course, anything which you like, you just throw in the Dhuni, and that will become the medium for you, for my remembrance. And then Baba gives example. There was one Dr. Nilu. He was very fond of one milk product. And Baba would not give to anyone any of the mandli, but he was permitted. Baba would ask him, just go and eat, have that. So he was very fond of that. So he says, here is Dr. Nilu. And he is very fond of this milk product. But if I ask him to just throw that milk product, the desire of milk product in the Dhuni, he will do it. And as soon as Baba said this, Nilu, of course, now, and Baba just winked at him. And he says, yes, Baba, if you ask me to throw it, I will do it willingly. So Baba says, just see, he is very fond of that, but if I want, of course he will do it, he is ready. So I tell you that the thing which you like, one thing only you just throw in the Dhuni, so that when that thing you see, so you will remember me, it will become the medium for your remembrance. Now everyone did that, and afterwards the dinner time was there. So dinner time, of course, serving was there. No, please don't give this. I don't need a thing to do. Now the problem was for us what to do now. Somebody would say, I don't want this. The other one say, I don't want that. What to serve now? So we told Baba that Baba, now this is a problem. Now what to cook for them? So Baba said, one thing I have told you. So why generally every day which you eat, why did you throw? But there were some, he said, of course, smoking, of course we threw this smoking. And they would become very, very restless. Very, very restless, very difficult to think what to do. And Baba then laughed He said that just do it. Say now 4 cigarettes you smoke, so 2 cigarettes you just throw and smoke through 2. Then afterwards 1 cigarette and then like this, otherwise you will become mad. Very, very practical, really speaking. He would always help and he would also enjoy. It is not that he would just cut jokes and this and that. After that every day, now he would ask that, what did you throw in the Dhuni? Do you remember it? So generally there was difficulty about those who were smoking. So Baba made it clear to them, all right, do it. So at least something, then gradually you cut. So what happens, but this is elimination. Elimination is that then of course you just get rid of that desire. When the desire, so long the desire is there, how is it possible if you suppress, if you repress, then after some time it is very, very powerful. So then you cannot control it. It is impossible for you. But through love, it is possible. Through love, that the desire itself is wiped out. It is burnt in the fire of love. Then of course you have no trouble. So repression, suppression, no good. Only elimination, and elimination, it comes when that, of course you have love, you have remembrance, you remember the beloved, you just follow him. Gradually you can get rid of all this. So never go to that extent. Don't become so spiritual that, oh yes, I am now advanced. Of course I don't touch this, I don't do this. I am free from all desires. Very, very difficult. Don't become so spiritual. Let it come in a natural way. And when it comes, you will not know. You will not know. You will become spiritual, you will not know that you are spiritual. So, it is all natural thing. And natural, when in a natural way, if you do it, so then of course there is joy. Otherwise you suffer unnecessarily. I am just following Meher Baba, but so much trouble is there. It is better not to just follow him and get away from him. The world is quite good, very pleasant for me. So the disgust comes. It is no one's fault, no one's fault. And that's why nowadays 3-4 days I just hear the gospel in the TV.
He watches the gospel TV.
So, of course, all types of things I hear, and sometimes I feel that what will happen when such things are there, only mental, when it is not connected with the heart, then of course it is not faith. Faith is that faith, when your desire is fulfilled, your faith is there. If desire is not fulfilled, faith is not there. So, God, of course, God is quite different. You cannot just think about like this. So you cannot connect with him through your expectation or desires. No. He is not there to make to fulfill your desire. He is there to make you desireless. It is quite different thing. And when you are desireless, you know nothing. You don't want anything. You just have anything. Of course, you can just make use of it properly. You are not attached with that. And that is the real thing. That is the real gift. And that's why Baba has said that the real gift I give in silence, and it is received and given in silence.
Bhaujie, Adele wants us to move inside.
Ah, good. All right.
Okay,
All right.
just take a minute. We'll all go in.
You could see whether you are shy or whether I am shy. You don't show your face to me, and I can't show my face to you. Oh, friends, do you know what a miracle the Beloved is going to perform? He is making preparation to awaken the whole humanity towards Him. Oh, intellectuals, please excuse me as I feel bored with your arguments. Just have a little taste for wine and see what happens. Oh, learned people, you're really respectable because you have devoted your life to the learning of religious literature. But the spiritual path is such that you have to unlearn all that you have learnt. O so-called masters and saints, there is no doubt that you are gaining and you are very successful. But do you know how difficult it is to lose what you have gained? O scientists, your scope of research is limited to space, which is the seventh shadow of God. While my research makes me transcend the spheres of mind, energy, and matter, and takes me to the abode of God in love for my Beloved. O Bao, do you know what a responsibility the Beloved has for the whole creation? He has imprisoned himself in each drop in order to make each drop the ocean.
Great.
Oh, beloved Mayhair, when I asked you, why don't you come into my house and stay with me forever? You said to me, I am free and I enter into any house from any side, and therefore see that walls of your house fall down. I was walking and walking and walking since ages, but when you stopped me from walking, what did I find? I found that I had returned to the same place where I had started walking from. I made a bridge over the ocean out of the wooden planks of my desires and wants in order to cross the ocean, but could not succeed. But when the bridge broke down and I fell in the ocean and started swimming, I got the awareness of how to cross the ocean. When I asked you how to dedicate my life to you and live only to please you, you said to me, want what I want and do what I wish you to do if you want to please me. When I ask you, you are not body, mind, and energy, then what are you really? And you replied, you have to lose your body, energy, and mind in my love, and then only you can know me as I am. When I said to you, I was very, very intelligent, but since I have been in your company, I am losing my intellect. You replied, you are not intelligent, but you were ignorant, and now you are losing your ignorance so that you may become wisely intelligent. What a fool you are, Bao. The Beloved is longing and longing to embrace you, but when he comes forward to embrace you, you run after your false self and you make him feel disappointed.
That's what I picked too.
Oh, is it
I consider it as my strength, but they think that this is my weakness, and they laugh at me. Oh, beloved, there are many fatal diseases in the world, and people die of these diseases, but they come back again in different forms with all bindings. I am also suffering from a most fatal disease, love for you, but my death will bestow free life on me. Oh, people of the world, you suffer and suffer in the world, and you try to get rid of your suffering, and you were right. But whether I am right or wrong, I don't know, and I long to suffer more and more in the pain of longing for the Beloved. Oh, friends, you are always surrounded with many problems in life, and when you solve one problem, there are other problems to solve, and you are not free. But if you realize this fact, that life itself is a big problem, and if you solve this problem in love for the Beloved, all the other problems will be automatically solved. Oh, brothers and sisters, whether you see a good dream or a bad dream, it is after all only a dream, and it has no substance. Why not then long to wake up from this long dream of life in love for the Beloved and enjoy eternal bliss? Oh, beloved, the mind of every human being is becoming more and more sophisticated. And if it blows up, the world will become the world of mentally deranged people, and you will have to send angels to take care of them. Why do you not then make every heart a little bit sophisticated in your love before the situation goes from bad to worse, and thereby you will save yourself the trouble of having to look after these mentally deranged human beings? Oh, Bao, you appear mentally disorganized sometimes, and it is surprising how it happens since you have been with the Beloved. You presume that though you appear mentally disorganized outwardly, you are very organized internally in love for the beloved.
Desires are there. One is low desire, then good desire, and then high desire. Now low desires, we all know that greed, anger, lust, selfishness, jealousy, and so these are low desires. So we just want to go beyond these low desires, wipe out these low desires in order to become spiritual. And then we suppress them, we repress them, but we cannot get over them. It is not possible. So, but these low desires, good desires are also there. Good desires, that means do not harm anyone. So we always just think about this, that when these good desires, we just think about that, we always appear good to others. We just try that people should appreciate that now we want to help no harm to others. Social workers, we become social worker and help them. But then again, good desires, they are also binding. They are also binding, but you don't harm anyone. But still, you are not free from the bondage. So high desire, what is high desire? There is only one desire. And that desire creates longing for the beloved, to become one with him. And that is called high desire. So high desire, when one has, then it eliminates good and bad, both type of desires. Good desires also create binding, but don't harm anyone. They harm to one who just have that desire. But bad desires, of course, they create so many bindings. Now, that day, I did not know about that bridge which was constructed there at Mehrani. So I wrote one song about bridge of weaknesses. Next day I come to know that just that bridge, one bridge is constructed there. So I said that why not this bridge of weaknesses? When you have high desires, what happens? You don't try nothing, you just think about the beloved. But all these weaknesses, weak desires, which bind one, so they just become like a bridge. And when they become, all the weaknesses are there. You can walk over that because you hold on the reality. Reality is there, you get the strength. So those desires which create binding, they themselves become like a bridge for you and make your path clear so that you walk over that and you cross this illusion, river of illusion. So that's why I say, without any trying, if you have that longing for the beloved, if you follow his wish, then of course what happens, the bridge of weaknesses is already there. It is constructed without your trying. It is already constructed and you just trample just under your feet. You walk over that. And that is the elimination of desires. Elimination, you don't think about the desires. They are there. But when you think about the beloved, gradually, they are just eliminated. Not only eliminated, but they make, just like to cross the river of illusion, they become the bridge. And they become the bridge and you walk over that and cross the river. So this happens only when we have love for him. We just follow his wish. Right?
Yes.
I always want you. I want to see your face.
Thank you.
So that social worker in part 2, read out that social worker.
Doesn't everyone try to help and serve others? Meher Baba's call to service brings to mind the labor phase of the new life, which beloved Baba said was the phase which he was allowing his companions to live for him, even as he himself was conducting the gypsy, begging, and langadi phases on their behalf. The trust personnel under mastery and servitude have essentially undertaken the labor phase, as humanity at large will do in the ages to come. And so, in keeping with the spirit of the labor phase, it behooves them to begin to learn to work selflessly. God is pleased by selfless service, which is service without thought of the false self, but in the remembrance of the reality of God. By this standard, even social service, as it is conventionally understood at the present time, falls short of the mark. The true selfless servant is unaffected by praise and blame, but strives only to please the beloved. Such selfless service is impossible without love for God and longing to experience oneness. The difference between true selfless service and social service, as the world understands it, is illustrated by the story of one social worker who visited beloved Avatar Meher Baba at Mehrabad. There were some Baba lovers who had come from Bombay and Pune to stay at Mehrabad for 3 days, and some of them were smokers. One day Baba came to Mehrabad and said to them, "You may smoke today, but tomorrow from 9 o'clock stop smoking completely." Those who were smoking were amazed very much to receive this order, and so suddenly from Baba. For them to stop smoking would be very difficult, such was their addiction. Early morning the next day they started smoking and smoking until Baba came down from Mehrabad at 8 a.m. They all assembled in Mandali Hall in Mehrabad, where Baba said that there was still 1 hour to go. So they Baba added, "But come in the hall at 5 minutes to 9 o'clock and then don't smoke." So they went out and were smoky and smoky until they returned to Mandalay Hall at 5 minutes to 9 a.m. They were so busy still thinking of smoking that they forgot Baba. But while they were thinking, Baba was observing them. At 9 a.m. exactly, the social worker arrived and entered Mandalay Hall. He was very polite and very humble, and he saluted Baba with much respect. Baba embraced the social worker, who then started talking to Baba. He said, "Baba, I am very spiritual. I get up early in the morning at 5 a.m. I take a bath and then meditate for 1 hour. I don't drink tea or coffee. I drink only milk, which is spiritual food. I never smoke, and if anyone smokes before me, I cannot tolerate it." When the social worker was talking about smoking, those who were there could understand why Baba had asked them not to smoke. The social worker continued, "I serve the poor people and helpless persons, and society respects me very much because of this. Wherever I go, people respect me because I help them. This is my life's work, to help people. Because of this, I have become very popular and famous in the country, and all political leaders also pay respect to me." Then Baba asked him, "How did you come here?" And he replied, "There is a very important conference of social workers at Ahmednagar, and I have to preside because I have such good status. That's why I have come here. But I wanted to take your darshan first and afterwards attend the conference." Baba then said, "What time will you have to be at the conference?" 10 o'clock, he replied. "So you must go now. You must not be late in attending such an important conference." "Yes, Baba, I must go, but I am happy to see you." And he left. As soon as he left, Baba asked those who were addicted to smoking to go out and smoke. After some time, Baba called them and said, "Real selfless service is different from social service. Selfless service one can tender when false self does not come into the picture. Social service is good work, but self remains there. In selfless service, you find the effacement of the self in love for beloved God. In social service, you find the self becoming strong, though apparently one appears modest, humble, and polite. As this anecdote shows, selfless service is not undertaken out of desire for praise. But at the same time, desire for praise cannot be effaced through a mere veneer of modesty. True selflessness is known only to the one whose modesty has been consumed in humility. Modesty creates weaknesses, while humility denotes inner strength. A real selfless servant does not make a show of service through a false modesty. His or her service is the spontaneous outcome of love within. The selflessness of an action resides in the love that inspires it, and not in a facade of meekness or seeming spiritual mindedness. By sugarcane fields. The only road between the village and the city a few miles away was a narrow path along which farmers passed on their way to and from the bazaar. In among the stalks of sugarcane there lived a cobra. When the villagers came near, this cobra would slither quietly toward the trail, strike out suddenly and bite one of the passers-by and slip away again. Many among the local peasantry died this way, and still the cobra continued with his depredations. The villagers tried every expedient in their efforts to exterminate this menace, but nothing worked. They traveled in groups carrying sticks, they shouted and trashed the sugarcane by the edge of the track, but all to no avail. Hiding in a hole or crevice, the cobra would lurk in wait, lash out unexpectedly, claim another victim, and escape into some undiscovered burrow. It seemed that nothing the villagers could do would save them from the slow destruction. At last the cobra came to his senses and realized that he bore the responsibility for the deaths of so many innocent people. I am the worst kind of sinner, he thought to himself. How wicked I have been. Even God himself could not forgive me. Smitten by these thoughts, the cobra repented and repented. Fortunately for him, just then a perfect master happened to be traveling to the village and came along the track near the cobra's lair. Miserably, the cobra crawled out onto the dirt path and called out, "O Lord, forgive this sinner. Because of my bite, how many peasants have died? Forgive me and deliver me from my sins." The perfect master regarded him gravely. "I will forgive you," he said at last, "but only if you obey my instructions." "Ask anything of me," said the wretched cobra. "Whatever you want, I will do it." "I am pleased to hear this," the perfect master replied. "Then my order is this: the situation, carrying out the wish of the beloved without worrying over external appearances."
Good.
Very good.
Now questions.
Was died, and I liked her very much when I met her in India, and I was wondering if you have any stories about her life with Baba.
The story was that I received the facts from there that she was seriously ill. And I sent the facts saying that seriously ill. I'm sorry to hear this, but I pray to Baba that he should allow her to join him as soon as possible. I dictated this, and then phone call comes that she died. So I said, "Baba, heard my prayer." She was with Baba, of course. Sometimes when Baba would go to Guru Prasad Pune, and someone just like Kekoban, he would be ill, so Baba would ask her to look after Kekoban. And she would also come from time to time. Then she thought that it would be better for her that instead of living in Bombay, she should come and stay near Baba. So there is Tibu cemetery in Mehrabad, very close to our trust estate. So she became the doctor there. And doctor she was, and then of course time to time she would come. So afterwards, because when the pilgrims would go there, after Baba dropped his body, pilgrims would go to Mehrabad, and then she would invite them. So she would invite them, and the other authorities, of course, persons were there. They did not like her behavior, that why she calls them here every now and then. Of course, she neglects her work. So then, of course, they would criticize her. But then, of course, she joined the trust, and she was working in health center. Many years she worked there. And afterwards, of course, she was just living near Pilgrim Center there. And she would not be able to walk, she would not be able to see, but she would not sit idle. Every day she would go to the health center. And how she would go? Our Mike McDonald, whom I say that he is in astral world, so his scooter is small one. So she would just sit by his side, behind him, and he would take her to health center. He would also take her to Baba's tomb. But till the end, and she was the one, of course, when I would go there, and she would not be feeling well. but still she would come to attend the talk. Every week when I would go, she would be the first one to come there. Once it so happened that I was at Ahmednagar attending office work, and I received a phone call that Alu Khambata is seriously ill and she should be transferred to hospital. So then of course I made arrangements in the hospital and went to bring her. So she was living near the pilgrim center. As soon as I went there, what I saw, that Alu Khambata had a big piece of cake and the cream, and she was eating. She was ill, and of course hospital arrangements should be made. What has happened? So that one who phoned me, I said, why did you phone? She is all right. But she was seriously ill at that time when I phoned. And she was all right, very, very strong within, very strong. She was about 95. And 95, still she would go to health center.
Wow.
You talked about Baba being indifferent for many years. How do you deal with that indifference from Baba? What do you do?
How will you deal? It was very difficult. Very, very difficult. Sometimes, of course, that phase would come for everyone. So then you would remain indifferent. And then, of course, I would keep watch near him at night. So I would go to him. He would not look at me. He would not look at me. He would not ask me to give massage. So that massage, of course, at least I would touch his body. So indifferent that no. Sometimes at night when he would get up, he would not look at me. He would want water. So he would just do like this. So I would go and bring water for him. And then I would give him. He would take like this. He would not look at me. He would take the glass like this. And he would drink. And then without looking at me. And not just for a day or 2 months together. Months together. Once it so happened that at night I was there and I was sitting there. So I would just think that no, now his mood is very bad. So I would not sit on the chair. I would sit on the veranda. And what happened one night, one scorpion flew. And it was just stopped there. Now what to do? If I would just crush it, kill it, then some noise would be there and Baba would be disturbed. So I was looking at the scorpion. The scorpion was looking at me. 2 hours. And it would not run. But afterwards it started running. I said, I must not kill it. Even if the noise would be there, if noise would be there and Baba would get upset, at least he would say something to me. So it was good. So I took the stick and killed. And the noise was there. And Baba did not say anything. Not a word, nothing, so indifferent. At that time, one would think that better to die. Better to die. Very, very difficult for months together. But how he would suffer. He would do this, but he would suffer. Suffer in the sense, it is not that he was just deliberately, he was annoyed and that's why he was doing that. No. That was the reason. At that time, I tell you, when I would be there and I would just think that how Baba was indifferent. And of course the film would start. Hours together, I would just see different things, one after another, one after another. How many births, of course, I passed through that. What happened this time, what happened that time, I was so absorbed in that. And then, of course, I would go in the morning. As soon as I would step out, the mind would be clear. Next day, when I would go for watch, and Baba would just lie down, and I would sit there, again that film would start. Just continuously for months together. Not the same feeling, different. It would just go on. Now how to describe what he was doing at that time, though he would be indifferent. But that indifference, afterwards, of course, you would feel the strength within. That his indifference was nothing but he was accepting, bringing one closer and closer to him in his love. Sometimes, of course, it would happen that Baba would go indifferent, but then, of course, he would just say, you must have. He would start communicating. So I would just give him massage, and I would forget that I am with him. I would forget, because you would just go away and away and away and away from me. And I would see, oh, Baba is so away from me, so away, how to catch him, how to go near him. And he would just go away, and I would try to come closer, and he would just go away and away at a distance. And I would forget that I am giving him massage. Forget completely. So such things would happen, how to describe. So his indifference, it is actually, he would become indifferent, but he would suffer for that person. Suffer, and then of course he would bring closer and closer back to him. Easily. But it was really difficult thing. Sometimes when people would come, sometimes also before them he would praise me, and I would feel as if he is just shooting an arrow. I would feel that. That praise I would not like. Would not like means it was just like that. And people would just think that, oh, Baba is praising him, he's so good, really good. But I would feel differently. Other Mandi members also, same thing would happen to them. He would praise before them, but his praise would just bring just the pain. And quite different thing, but others would not be able to understand what is going on, what that particular person feels at that time. Oh, Baba is praising him. It would happen. So whatever he would do, I tell you, just for the good of others. Not that he would, but he would suffer and suffer from that. Because he had to keep control. I just give one example, and you will know what type of person I am. Baba had asked me to write something, and you know, Baba's nature was that if you would ask me to write a book today, and I would go this morning, if you would ask, in the evening when I would go, he would ask me, did you complete it? One book. Yes. So, once of course he had asked me, and then of course I went to him. And then of course he asked me, and I said no. And he got very much upset. Very much upset. He said that, did you start? I said, no, I was thinking about it. And he got very much upset. You don't follow me, don't obey me. And then of course my mind started working. Not a good person. So mind started working, and Baba was upset, and he was lying down, and I was sitting there. And you know that Baba's order not to make any movement, not to make any noise, and not to sleep. So I was sitting there. I said, now, yes, I am Baba, of course, whatever he does, he, of course, for my good, he does. But now it is impossible for me to put up with this. What to do? I must die. But how to die? That was a problem. So I thought that I must commit suicide. And the same mind which deceives, the mind says that no, you should not commit suicide, because Baba has said that suicide is very bad. One should not do it. So it is not good. Then I think that whether it is good or bad, now it is also, nothing is good for me, everything is against me. So why not to just die, commit suicide? But when I commit suicide, of course there will be problem about. So I must write something, write down so that he may not come into trouble. How to write? Not to move. Then the mind says that you are helping him so that he may not come into trouble, so disobey that order. So I said, yes, that is good. I must make it very clear that if this, because Baba did not do anything for me, he loved me, but I thought it I am doing on my own. So just write something. So I was just trying to stand up like this. As soon as I tried, Baba took the turn and immediately I sat down. What to do now? He is not giving, helping me. Though I want to help him so that he may not come into trouble. What to do now? Again after some time, again I tried to stand up to write and Baba took the turn immediately. 5-6 times I tried, but 5-6 times of course he did the same thing, and railway station was very close. So I thought that tomorrow you will not see my face. I'm just going. And what happens? 8 hours meditation. I step out of the room, and then I forgot completely. Forgot very, very tired. And I want to take rest. So I tell you not to sleep, not to make any noise, and not to make any movement. I am telling you the truth, I am very, very tired. Be careful, don't make any noise, don't make any movement. 5-6 times he narrated. And he says, go and sit outside. So when I would go out of his room, so then I would close the room and the windows, everything. When Baba would go to retire, so windows and ventilators and everything would be just closed, nothing. As soon as he would go into his room, retire, everything should be closed. Even in summer when it would be very, very hot. So I closed the room and I was sitting outside. Now what would happen? Every night after 15-20 minutes he would clap and I would go inside. So that was the relief for me because I would make movement. But that night, of course, I was sitting there waiting. The mosquitoes, plenty of mosquitoes were there biting. And I was just sitting like this and waiting that Baba would clap and I would go. Even I could not do like this, that is the movement. Just like a statue, sit there. So 15 minutes, 20 minutes, Baba did not clap. Half an hour, 1 hour, 1.5, 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And I became so stiff and mosquitoes were biting like anything. And I was just sitting like this, what to do. Really speaking, real meditation started. And what was the meditation? Please clap, Baba, please clap. Now it is too much. I can't bear. And after 2.5 hours, Baba started slowly. In the morning, I thought, that thought had come, that when Baba will be sleeping, he must be forgetting everything. So I thought, now, this is the time for me, he is snoring, so I must at least change my position. So I was very, very alert. So I was just waited for some time, but it was snoring. And then I started just lifting my leg just to change my position. Up to here I went, and he died. And I went inside. And Baba said, why did you move? And I could not do it. There was no noise. Of course, everything was closed. Could not see. No noise, nothing. I did not make any noise. I was just slowly. Said, I do. I was wonderstruck, did not say anything. So Baba said, when you think, when I sleep, you think that I forget everything. I see the whole world, whole universe. When you feel that I am sleeping, but in that sleep I see the whole thing. Can I not see you who is so close to me? And that was the reply of that question which that Baba must be sleeping, I was thinking in the morning. And I wanted to take advantage of it. So he says, when you think that I am sleeping, I see the whole universe. Can I not see you who is so close to me? So that was his no, deliberately, just to see the robbers and this, and you would not do that, but when Baba would ask anything, of course you would do. Then you would not just feel scared when you would ask to do certain things. I tell you, Baba would also humiliate us when people would come. And new persons, of course, they would come to see Baba, and before them, Baba would just humiliate any one Mandi member. He would just make him a scapegoat. And he would just say, I just give an example. What happened that we were in Pune. So Baba would go every year for 3 months there. So first time when Baba went there in 1960, so he permitted Pune Baba lovers to come to him. Now what happened? Baba would say, what did you do to someone? Say, oh Baba, yesterday of course I went for that program and music program, it was so good, and of course I sang and so many people came, and then others of course, oh Baba, such a program, of course we did this and we did that. Oh Baba said, very good. And then next day, when Baba would not ask, still, oh Baba, yesterday we had that program there, and they would say, oh, it was so good a program, of course so many people came and he gave a talk on you and he sang, and you know, everyday business. And Baba said, very good. Though he did not like, very good. So one day, he is asked by one of the Mandi. He said, you go to the one locality where South Indians were living there. You go there and tell about them, about me. So Bhaujie was such a person. When Baba said, tomorrow in the morning, go there. So he was ready at 4 o'clock early morning. 4 o'clock he left. And he went there. They were sleeping, but he would go and knock at the door. Get up, avatar has come. Get up, I have got message from the avatar, get up. And he just collected all those people and then told them about Baba. And then about at 4 o'clock he ate there also. Then message from the avatar. So they were very, very happy. So he ate there, and then at about 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, he came back to Guru Prasad. He came back, he was so happy. But those Pune lovers, they would come in the morning. So Baba said, no, just go back, don't say anything. Tomorrow I will call you, when I will call you at that time, you come. So he was disappointed because he was very, very happy. He gave lecture and this and message from the avatar he gave. Now next morning, they all came. And as soon as they came, Baba called by me. And Baba says, what happened yesterday when you went there? Oh Baba, I gave your message, and of course they were all sleeping there. I said, no, Baba is the awakener. And the avatar has come and you are sleeping, get up, come on. And of course they heard and they were so happy. Next Sunday you will see that how many people come. And they were so happy. I gave a long talk to them. And Baba says, you Irani donkey, illiterate, have you any shame? You just say, I went there and I said this and awakener and awakened them. Who are you? Illiterate? And Baba just got upset with him, scolded him like anything. Result, all those people who were from Pune, those who would just tell Baba, we did this and we did that. They could understand that it was for them, not for Vaidul. Not for Vaidul. So they could understand. And that's why Baba, and then they stopped that. Otherwise, every day when they would come, they would start, this happened, that happened, we did this and we did that. So that was a lesson for them. But the scapegoat, Vaidul was there. Vaidul made him scapegoat. Now,
But they understood exactly the Baba.
yes, of course, you would just talk to someone and the effect would be on others. It would happen. You would not say directly to them, but they could understand. They could understand. If you are this son, Palsy, was telling me about this? You. So that son, he was called as a saint. So he would also go to America, different places, different countries, and he had many followers. So once Baba sent him a message through Eraj that he is his dear child. And he was really very simple, modest, very polite, humble. So when he heard this, he said, I want to see it now. And Eraj says that no, Baba is in seclusion, so I cannot say that I will go and you tell him that you want to see him. If he permits, of course, then of course I will let you know. Say, yes, please just tell him that I am eager, anxious to see him. So Eraj comes and tells Baba. So Baba says, all right. One day, just that day, of course, you can call him. So Eraj informed him. And the date was fixed. But before, one day in advance, Baba asked him, he gave me one message, one who knows everything displaces nothing. And he said, make a board and just fix it behind his chair. So I did it. Next day, that saint comes along with his followers. And he was very, very humble. He made Baba and Baba embraced him. And they were sitting. So Baba says, then of course you go to different places, you visit. Yes, Baba, I go. America, I went, Australia, I went here, I went there, I went. And I met your lovers there. And I asked them what experience they had. So they said, no experience. Why don't you give them experience? And one who knows everything displaces nothing. He did not follow that. He said, no, Baba, but it is good that if you give some experience, then of course they would just feel very enlightened and they would just have that longing. Baba says, I don't have any experience. What to say, I don't have any experience. But experience you are talking about, I don't have that. But there is one man here with me. He talks about so many experiences I don't know. How he gets those experiences. But if you are eager, so go and ask him. I have no connection with it, those experiences. He tells me that this is just the news to me. But he tells that I got this experience, that experience. So he told. Pekobar was one of the Maldives. So one day it so happened we were in Dehradun in 1953. He was praying to Baba and all of a sudden he got glimpse of God. And glimpse, it was also so overpowering that he lost his consciousness and he fell down. But he was so happy afterwards, so happy. And he was thinking that he got God realization. So glimpse, not even the plane, but just a glimpse momentary. And it gives so much joy. Even before that glimpse, if you just have all the comforts of the world put together, it is nothing before that glimpse of momentary glimpse. So much bliss you enjoy. So then afterwards, of course, again you get a glimpse, but the glimpse so overpowering. So you go to Baba and ask his experience. He says, you just see this sun and this light and you think that this is the light. I see thousands of light after thousands of sun together. So much light. One will become blind. So through this glass eyes one cannot see. But I experience within myself that light of course cannot experience music and this and so many things he told. And he comes back to Baba and he says, Baba, it happened to him because of your grace. And he was the highest of the all. What he says, my grace, you don't have any idea about my grace. My grace means complete ruination. That is my grace. Complete ruination. When complete ruination is there, you know who you are. Means false self, finished. That is complete ruination. So complete ruination, when my grace is that grace which of course takes you to complete ruination. That is quite different, and I am just I am concerned with that experience. Not this. This is nothing. This is still illusory. So this has nothing, no meaning. And people just, but he says, oh, no, you must use some experience. I said, I am not interested in it. So that experience, and he was called saint. He was saintly person, no doubt, very good person, very polite, very humble. But for the world, yes, some experience he gives, oh, just like yesterday I told you that one person, of course, when I went to Delhi, he invited me, and he says, I went to have the darshan of that mile of Ganesh Puri, Bombay, and he saw light here. So, oh, good. How was that light? Oh, it was very good. Said, this light? Lighter? No, it was dim. I said, you felt happy when you saw the dim light. Why do you feel happy when bright light is there? So it happens, people just think that they don't know what is experience. Experience means we must know, we must experience that what we are, really are. And that experience, it is eternal. Even when one does the body, one dies, the experience remains there. Eternally one enjoys. That experience never goes away. It is just eternal, the experience. And that's why in order to experience that, we have come in creation. And one day, of course, definitely we will have that experience. Even the worst type of sinner, he is also destined to experience that. Today or tomorrow, but definite thing. And that's why creation is there for this purpose. But once, of course, even just glimpse, I tell you, Ekova, then he got the glimpse. Oh, he was so happy. That was his God realization. He was thinking that he got God realization, and it was not just he was just telling something, exaggerating. That was not the thing. But it is so overpowering. One thinks that yes, this is that experience, and that's why Baba does not give that experience. Because when that experience comes, you just get caught up and you want that illusory experience. Here, of course, we just see glass world. Through our glass eyes, we see the world, this world. But then the experiences energy is within us, and that is subtle world. When that journey starts, of course we see we get power, we can do anything through that power. Even when you are on fourth plane, you can just destroy this whole world with a thought. As soon as you just say destroy, the thought comes, it is destroyed. Or you can create another world in a moment. That much power everyone has. But that is not the thing. Real experience, that means real experience, that means one should know that power, knowledge, bliss, everything. Without knowledge, you don't know how to use that power. And that's why in subtle world, when people they pass through, they just power the experience, energy the experience, but they don't have knowledge how to utilize that. They don't so they can do anything, and that's why in fourth plane, if anyone does something, goes back to stool. That is the danger, and that's why masters always help. Masters do not allow anyone to misuse the power. So they are always there. So this gross world, this gross energy, and this gross energy, it is the seventh shadow of real energy. Seventh infinite power. God has infinite power. This is the seventh shadow. Shadow of the shadow of the shadow of the shadow. Seventh shadow of what we see. And we say, oh, this atom bomb and hydrogen bomb and this bomb and so much power. This is just the seventh shadow. Seventh shadow. First plane, of course, lot of energy is there, but no one can experience that energy through this gross consciousness. We must have subtle consciousness for that. So when the time comes and our gross consciousness, when it grossness is wiped out and it becomes subtle, then of course through subtle consciousness we experience subtle world. Subtle, all the planes of the subtle world we experience. But then beyond that, so subtle world is finer world, and mental world is the finest world, where of course energy is not there. You experience the thought, the mind. You become in fifth plane, one become master of mind, one thought section. So that is thought section in fifth plane, and that is the plane where you hear unheard sound. Means the sound of that original word. Who am I? It is said in Bible that God, of course, gave the word. God was silent, and through his silence he gave the word. What is that word? Where is that word? Where? That word is in everyone. God is indivisible. When God is indivisible and infinite, so God is not in you as a part. God as a whole is in you. God cannot, he is indivisible. So God as a whole in everyone. So that word must be in everyone. And because that word is there is progress in consciousness. Otherwise, how you don't know what progress you are making. Who asks you to do anything, any progress? It is because of that word. Because one day we have to know that word to become that word. So that word, it works in everyone. So that word, the sound of that word, it is heard in fifth plane, that is called unheard now. Unheard means infinite. Infinite, and nad means voice. So it is divine voice. It is heard in the fifth plane. But fifth plane you hear the voice of that word, but still you don't become the word. You don't become the word. Then of course in sixth plane when you see, then of course the presence of God everywhere. God is nothing else but still no union. And you long for the union, and then of course you cross the valley and then you become one with God, then you yourself become that word which is given. So God has given that word. So what we have to do while we are in creation, to hear the sound of that word. We are in creation, but we don't hear the sound of that word, we hear the noise of the word. And so long we hear the noise of the word, word sound will not be there. For that, in order to hear that sound, we have to make inner journey. Everything is within us. Everything. Infinite power is there, infinite knowledge is there, infinite bliss is there. All the universes, innumerable universe, everything. God is everything. So that space, we just think that must be one scientist had come to Baba. And of course, the scientist means dealing with the space. So God is infinite, that means space. God is infinite. So how is it possible for God to be bottled up in his body? So, because the space, infinity means space. His knowledge was that. So what happened? Yesterday I think, day before yesterday I told you. So that scientist. So scientists of course they can just deal with the space. But subtle world, which is within us, and energy, full of energy, and no space. Subtle means no space. Beyond that mental world, no space there. So how can, but and beyond that is infinite consciousness. Infinite consciousness holds subtle mental world, subtle world and gross world. Mental world holds subtle world and gross world. Subtle world holds this gross world, subtle, and it holds all this space. So that power is there. And that's why it is to be experienced. And experience, only the master can give that experience. He gives, and why he comes age after age in order to awaken that this is nothing, it is a dream. We have to wake up from the dream. But to wake up from the dream, what do we need? Yes, master, but what master should do? You are sleeping, dreaming. How will you wake up? What does he give?
No.
Awaken.
Not slap. In a moment, if he gives that hard slap, in a moment of fulfillment, you just wake up and then never sleep. But that slap or that preparation, he makes that preparation. He prepares us for that. Bust, sixth plane, and robust body, and he would not put on clothes, only one cloth would be there, and smiling, very good personality. And there was Dr. Nilu. Dr. Nilu, he was a medical doctor. He would never believe in must. His medical science would tell him that these are the people deranged mentally. So he would say one day, he said to Baba, you say must, but I think that they are mentally deranged. And I can prove. Baba says, very good, prove that. So he says that after I need books. So Baba says, all right, you just have books, whatever books you want, have these. So Dr. Nilu, of course, called so many books and he was reading to prove that this must are mentally deranged. But years and years he took. And then once Baba went to Quetta, he took that must there, Chatti Baba, and Dr. Nilu was also there to prove that he was mentally deranged. He was reading, studying. Now what happens? There was snowfall. When Baba was there in Quetta, snowfall. And big slab of snow was there. And Chakti Baba, all naked only in loincloth, at night he would go out, sit on the slab, and he would enjoy. And doctor used 6 blankets and all warm clothes, everything. And he would think that, oh, now he has gone out. Tomorrow he would fall sick, he would catch cold. So then I had to treat him. What to do now, this mad person? Next day he sees that he was just hale and hearty, nothing happened. Again other night, of course, next night, again he went out and he would enjoy. During daytime also he would just sit on the slab of the snow. And then he comes to Baba. Say, Baba, now I just accept. Whatever they are not meant to do, they are not. So they also look like mad, but they are not mad. They are really advanced. Not a mad person. That's why there were 2 ashrams in Rahuri. Mad, actually mad, and God mad. So 2 ashrams were there, and Baba would work with them. But afterwards, those mad persons, actually mad, they performed one historical drama at Mehrabad, and then Baba sent them back. So actually mad, that's a different thing, but when you are God mad, the joy you experience, that is quite different. If you just go to Muhammad and if you do him this or that, whether he's tempted, no, he's just like a child, just like a child, and he has no concern, he is the king of kings. He has no concern because the desires under control, no desire, nothing, no temptation. Nothing.
Sometimes they're chain smokers. I imagine Dr. Needham trying to get him out of his addiction.
Emperor, well dressed and very clean. Only thing that 2 cigarettes of course you want continuously. Nothing but cigarettes. And it was a pleasure because every must would not allow Baba to work with him. But Ali Shah, Bhaujie, he was the one of course Baba would always work with him. And he was very calm and quiet, Jamali, not Jalali. There are 4 types of must: Jamali, Jalali, Mahbubi, and of course Ghaus. So just think that who are this man here? So he would not eat when the food would come in his cabin. He would not eat. He would go to another cabin and he would take the food from there. And then of course he would go up the deck, and there he would just collect all these cigarette ends and newspapers and this all rubbish he would collect. So then the captain was informed that one mad person is here. So the captain comes there and he said, then Adi said that he is of course some mentally sick and we are taking him to France for treatment. He said, no, you are taking, but just take care that he should not come out of the cabin, he should not give trouble to anyone. You are taking such a person, of course you must take the responsibility. But anyhow, they took. And lot of trouble he gave. Not easy. Not easy. But he went there and of course Baba worked with him in the place Caves. Baba was there. And there of course 2 bungalows were there, Hell and Heaven. Baba had given the name. One was Hell, another was Heaven. Where men Mandi was there, Hell, and where women Mandi, Heaven. Now after that, when I went there, after many years, so when I went there, so I went to Caves. So Heaven had become Hell, and Hell had become Heaven. Change took place. So Hell and Heaven, 2 bungalows were there, and and of course one cottage was constructed there, where Mughal was for Muhammad. And then of course Baba would give him bath. So bath, to give him bath, it was very difficult. Bathroom, he must go to the bathroom. So of course Baidul was there, Baidul would say, Dada, you call Baba as Dada. Dada wants you in the bathroom. Yes, I am coming. I am coming. I am coming. Hours together, I am coming. And he would not get up. With great difficulty, hours together. Then of course, when he would be in bathroom, Baba would give him bath, good bath. But then, yes, wait, to put on the dress. No, just wait. And he would just look here, there, like this, continuously. And Baba would be with him. He would not just ask him, do this, do that. No, nothing. Whatever his mood. And then, of course, he would then take him in another room. And he would be with Mama. So, you must, how Baba would treat them. And then, of course, when he say that he is the slave of his lovers, there you find how he would become the slave. And he would feel so pleased. He would just go thousands and thousands of miles, get tired, and this, and when he would contact a good must, Baba would become so fresh, so happy. So many musts he contacted, day and night continuously. When we would go, this Duncan, book that Duncan wrote this book. It so happened that Duncan had been to India, and Baba was in Bangalore at that time, so Duncan went there. Baba called him there, and Baba was dealing with the must. And of course Duncan says to Baba that Baba, this is very important work you are doing, and there is no record. So records should be maintained, and books should be written, because this is what new thing I am observing. Never heard of such thing. So Baba says, why don't you write? He says, I am a doctor, I am not a writer. How can I write this? So Baba says, why did you say this? Who will write? You have asked for, you have to write. Yes. You have to write. And poor Duncan did not know anything, because the must, how they were brought and this and that, and nothing of this sort. So he collected, he would go to Bible, he would go to Iraq, and then he would go to the places where the must was. And then of course he would take pictures and this and that. So all these pictures of course Duncan got it done. He himself did. And lot of trouble he took, and of course it is there, but it is up to 1949. After 49 also Baba contacted so many musts. And whatever you see in the film, it is just one trip. And that trip, how Baba made that trip, it was a special trip because of Dr. Deshmukh's request. Dr. Deshmukh, sometimes he would just get some whim, and God had to fulfill his whim. Whatever he would whatever whim would be there, Baba had to fulfill. So he had purchased camera and projector and everything. So he goes to Dehradun. Baba had already made contacts with this mosque. But he says, Baba, this is very important work you are doing. And posterity, how the posterity would come to know. So film should be taken. See, I do it privately, of course no one knows. When I work with the mosque, of course no one can see that. And how will you take the film? No, Baba, you must do it, and film should be taken. And he was after Baba. Baba says, now this man, he will not listen to me, so let us go. So the trip was made a special trip. Baba had already contacted those mosques, but for this purpose, and that's why You just see Baba meeting with the must and this, he would never do such a thing. All this must, when you would contact, that contact would be very private, nobody would see. Nobody would see. But at least people of course have some idea about working with the must.
How many how many are in the earth at one time? How many masses? Is there a number?
Yes. Number is fixed. Say 1,000 something. So first plane, second plane, of course number is fixed. Just like 5 perfect masters.
Okay.
So also the must number is also fixed. So you will get when God speaks a number, fixed number.
So we end with
I have master's prayer and then
Master's prayer.
Yes, yes.
So how it's on the fifth plane?
The preserver and protector of all. You are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are invisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere. You are in everything. And you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest, on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the 3 worlds and also beyond the 3 worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the Creator, the Lord of Lords, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and you are knowledge itself. You are all-merciful and eternally benevolent. You are the soul of souls, the one with infinite attributes. You are the Trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the Ancient One, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the beyond God and beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yezdan, Ahura Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Izad, the only one worthy of worship.
We
Repent, O God, most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent most especially for every lustful thought and every lustful action